nine pointer come into 20 yards.
I just fucking smoked him. I just fucking smoked him.
Borderland Pursuits Podcast, Episode 10. We got our local predator hunting expert, Brandon Missinne. Thanks for coming on. How's it going?
It's going.
Yeah, welcome in. You're kind of a big time hunter around here, chasing predators, coyotes. You know, what really drove you to want to do that?
The thrill of the chase, thrill of the hunt. Just love predator hunting.
Yeah,
Big turkey hunter, deer hunter. Just coyotes, just get my adrenaline pumping.
yeah, it really gets you racing.
Yeah.
I've heard like people talk about coyote hunting as like you're the one being hunted more or less, and that's where they get like their thrill and their drive like for it. Is that
When you got coyotes hard charging, yeah, it's just awesome.
gets the blood pumping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when they land in your lap.
So what made you want to like get into it? Was there like a specific person like you just went out one time and you got hooked, or like because you're doing it often now? You're going out as much as you can. You know so you're definitely it bit you and you're hooked into it now.
I went out with one guy thermal hunting, and we walked into a field, scanned, there's a coyote out there. We hit the call and it hard charged, and I was hooked ever since.
Ever since that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you do much coyote hunting before like the thermal? Like after seeing the thermal, did you only use thermal, or did you go out during the daytime?
Daytime. Started going out daytime hunting.
Okay.
We went out with my buddy Drake one evening during archery season. We called one right into us, daytime.
Nice.
And he's got hooked. So,
Kind of doing it with everyone you can.
yeah.
Teaching people and showing them how it's done now.
Yep.
Very cool. What did you, how do I want to word this? What did you like invest into first, I guess, when you first really started diving into it? Because you had rifles and everything else. Like what kind of equipment did you need to get to?
I did a lot of research for what calls I should look into buying, and so I went and got a Fox Pro, some mouth calls. Just started learning as much as I could.
Practicing with the
Yeah.
mouth calls, and then what? I don't really know much about like because you can use the electronic calls, correct?
Yes, and you can mouth call at the same time if you want to add that in.
What kind of mouth call are you using?
I use
Like, what's it mimicking?
rabbit.
Okay.
You can do pup distress on
And that's
them.
just like a diaphragm or like what type of, is it a diaphragm or, I don't know.
It's like a goose call almost.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay.
Did not know that.
No, I didn't know that either. That's pretty cool. So, with your calling techniques and your sequences, like, how does that vary? Like, how do you work? Like, are you working at like, say you're
It
talking
depends
to
on the day.
turkeys?
Depends on the day what to use for call sequences.
I was doing some research before going out my first time, and I was trying to figure that out because I'm like, am I just gonna sit here and let this thing rip for like 2 hours straight? You know, and I read through some forums, and it sounds like certain people have preferences. Some people say let it rip for 20 minutes straight because if something's coming in and you shut it off after 5 minutes, that coyotes have like ADD. They're gonna stop. They're gonna be like, okay, well, on to the next one. So that's why people let them rip for like 20 minutes. But then on the flip side, people are like, a rabbit doesn't have 20 minutes of screaming in its lungs, and they want to mimic it as much as possible. So it goes both ways. What's your idea behind like your calling technique? Do you just let her buck for a while, or you just how you're feeling?
No, I'd call for 2-3 minutes,
Okay.
let it sit for a minute or two, then restart into it.
Will you switch from
I'll
like
switch
a
from-
rabbit to something else after that 2-3 minutes? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, coyote vocals.
Yeah.
Usually-
What have you had the most luck with, I guess, on that? Is it coyote or is it a rabbit in distress or something else?
So, like right now is like breeding season.
Yeah.
So I use a lot of breeding season sounds.
Okay.
Female howls, and start with that.
Okay. That's what you start your sequence
Yeah.
with. Yeah. And then you'll switch it up to distress
distress,
calls and
yep.
stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Is that pretty much like 3 minutes on, a little bit of break, 3 minutes, like you're just rotating that
It's rotating,
sequence? Is that like a couple hours at a time or how long?
No,
No.
15, 20 minutes max. Move on to the next stand.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. How far apart are your locations you're hunting then?
Anywhere from mile to 40 miles. Depends on where I'm going.
Yeah.
Depends on how motivated you want to
Yeah.
be that day to chase after him.
Depends on how much Red Bulls you drink and how
Yeah.
late you want to stay up.
Yeah.
I suppose. But what you got going on the next day? Make sure you're
Yeah.
not too drowsy for that.
Yeah.
Do you wait till you get a coyote coming at one spot, or that 15, 20 minutes is up, you're like, nothing's coming, I'm
Yeah.
going?
I'm going.
Yeah. Okay.
Are they pretty reactive to the call? Like if they're close and they're gonna come, like it happens pretty fast.
First. Sometimes it's the first couple minutes.
Okay.
Mm.
So
Couple minutes to 10 minutes usually is your best.
what's the like most coyotes you've seen out in front of you in a field like at a time? Do you have any-
4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get them all?
No.
Did you get one of them at least?
Yeah.
So not like Brett with the rifle in the deer stand this year. huh?
No.
You might
If I
have
would've
to
seen-
take him to the range or something.
If I would have seen 4 coyotes, I would have been out of ammunition on the first one. No doubt. What how do you go about like getting permission to go and hunt people's properties? Like are they pretty open to
They're pretty open.
Okay.
They get a little leery around deer season.
Yeah.
I'll stay out of there. But it's up to the landowner, I guess. But
Yeah, to stay in good communication with them
Yeah.
and whatever they want you're doing, but for the most part it's we want coyotes gone, so
yeah.
come take care of them.
Yep.
Are you using a silencer? when you
Yes,
hunt?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I was wondering about that. I'm assuming some people are like, I don't want some guy out here painting and banging at fucking midnight, waking me up and shit. But
One thing about night hunting, deer act totally different. You can walk 20 yards from them, light up a call. They'll just sit there and look at you.
The deer will?
Yeah, they're not scared. They just act totally different.
They see the darkness as their friend more or less.
Yeah.
and- oh, that's pretty cool. What do you do? Like, do you just go door knocking when
Just
you're
door knock.
door knocking?
Yeah.
You're not cold calling people and say, hey,
Oh,
what's up?
I do call people, text
Okay.
people. Best way to do it's knock on their door and
Show your face.
Yeah.
Tell them who you are.
yeah,
That's very cool.
show them your equipment, what you're using. They like seeing it.
Okay.
yeah. What are you running for optics and silencer, caliber?
I run the Pulsar thermal,
Okay.
Thermion, laser rangefinder, and then shoot a Seekins 223
Okay.
AR.
Do you use anything particular for rounds or
I use VMAX.
okay?
What I don't want to get all the guys in trouble that are out coyote hunting for their setup prices, but like what's it cost to build a rifle like that?
It really depends on what you're willing to spend on a thermal
Okay.
or your gun. You
What-
can be in high dollars for a rifle,
Yeah.
high dollar for a thermal.
What's kind of like a mid-range price for if somebody's trying to get into it, they don't want the bare minimum thermal.
I'd say around like $3,000.
$3,000 you can
Get
get
a
pretty
pretty
good
good setup.
pretty good setup.
The thermals that they're coming out with this year is just really good for the price.
Okay. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
What I know you pick and choose kind of on your schedule of when you can get out, but like what kind of weather are you looking for? Like I don't know much about coyotes and how like they operate in different weather conditions or anything like that. Are you picking certain weather days where you're like this is when I want to be out?
I'm always looking at the weather.
Okay.
Wind direction, the moon, how bright it is.
Mm-hmm.
People like to hunt full moons. People don't like to hunt full moons.
It's kind of preference on
Preference
from the hunter, but
How does snow affect them? If there's like a heavy snowfall coming, are they just not moving, or are they taking advantage of other animals not moving? You think trying to?
It really depends.
Yeah.
yeah. So like you said wind direction, like you're talking like you're
What stands I'm gonna pick for the night?
Mhm.
You gotta just go through them and. Oh, now you gotta.
because they live by their nose,
Yeah.
so you kind of like a whitetail. You want to make sure you're not directly blowing
Blowing your-
right
right-
where you
blowing your
think
s-
they're gonna
yeah.
come from.
Yeah, So it's just a guessing game where they're gonna come from, but you have like a sort of an idea.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you use Onyx to like when you go? Are you just driving around knocking on
I
doors?
live
or-
on Onyx. I have it on my truck screen. I drive around. I'm always looking at it.
So then you can kind of pick your stand location since you get permission from Onyx, depending on your wind and
Yep.
where you think they're going to be coming from.
Yep.
When you say stand location, you're just referring to where you're posting up against a tree, or do you ever sit out of a stand to have a little bit higher of a vantage point, be able to see
Never.
more?
I'm always on the ground,
Okay.
shooting off tripod.
Okay.
If it's daytime hunting, I just lean up against a tree and
Yeah.
edge of a field and about it.
Yeah.
What like do you have the call next to you, or how do you work like with the call? Like how far away are you going to be from where
So
you're
night
calling from?
hunting, you can put the call 5-10 feet in front of you, or I like to have it like 30, 40 yards probably.
Okay. But daytime you might put it further
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
Just
that
so it
typi-
keeps them off of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that typically set up in a field, or do you ever hunt in timber?
I hunt timber,
Yeah.
heavy pines.
At that, is that when you keep it closer to you, the call?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the field, you set it out a little bit more just to get a little bit more range.
Yep.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, when I tried the other weekend for the first time at my house, didn't really know what the fuck I was doing. But I had it set, I was like, I'm just going to sit in my deer stand. When we get in there, about an hour before dark, just start letting it rip. I put the call out about 45, 50 yards away from me and pretty much just sat there and listened to an annoying sound for 2 hours. Froze my ass off. It was like 10 degrees. But made me think like a little backstory on that. The night before, I was getting stuff ready in my garage, just getting shit set up, got the rifle out, and I just hear the coyotes start lighting up outside my house. It was like the closest I've ever heard them. I'm like, they're like on my archery range right now. Like, I don't know, like they're close.
They're right
you know,
there.
I opened the door, I was outside trying to just see if I could see them. Soon as I cracked the door, all of a sudden they just shut up. I'm like, oh, they're smarter than I thought. But I for sure thought I was gonna go out in the stand the next morning, set the call up, and hear something, but nothing. Like or see something, I guess. Nothing came in, and that just made me think like I need to get thermals and get out there because it's I don't know, damn near every night of the week I can hear them at some point. You know, whether they're right outside my house or at a distance. But and that was at like 9:45, 10 o'clock. Is that kind of a point that's like a sweet spot for them? Because I feel like typically I hear them howling or barking, running around at that point.
Yeah,
you know?
that's when they're most active.
Okay. So will you go out any earlier than that, or
I
like
go
do you-
right at dark.
and then you just start hopping spots?
Yep.
You hunt till like midnight, or kind of as long as you're shooting them.
Yeah, depends on how good the night's
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
If it's a slow night, I'll call it early.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever keep like a logbook of like your hunts, like like this day the moon was like this, and then my wind was
I have
5
been
miles an
writing it
hour?
down, and
So you can go back and look like this could be a good day because this night I'd seen a bunch.
yep.
Okay, well, that's smart. Good thing to do.
Mm.
Definitely. You talked about like breeding season and using different calling techniques for that. Like, what is it like frowned upon for like to hunt during breeding season or?
No, that's when the best time of the year to hunt. Breeding season. That's when they're most active.
Okay,
They're on their feet,
they get kind of territorial on.
very territorial.
Okay,
Is that like just quicker reaction time you get to a call? You see them coming in fired up to the type
Fired
of
up,
calls you're
coming
giving?
screaming.
Yeah. Okay.
man, I got to get out there one night with you and
Yeah.
check out the
What are you
thermal
waiting
stuff.
for?
I don't know.
I keep asking him. He's always too busy.
Yeah.
Oh, busy guy. There's something about he likes the thrill of being in the dark and being hunted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if personally I would like the thrill of being in the dark being hunted by a thing with got a bunch of teeth that's coming to eat me.
Well, you'd be with your little brother. He'd protect you.
Yeah. Yeah. Big tough little brother, he'll protect me.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. So with your coyotes, when you get them, like what's the process? Like now you got one or two, at a stand. Like what do you bring them home? You skin them. What are you doing?
Depends on the time of year, really.
Okay.
What their fur's like, you know. Wintertime, take them home, skin them out. Some people, a lot of people I know want them just to get tanned
So
and
you're giving like a lot to people that
Yeah.
like want them for the
Yeah.
tanning. Is there any money in it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
not right now. There's no money in it.
No.
Does that price go up and down throughout the year, kind of when the fur is in like the
The
best
fur
condition?
market's just down right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has that been like a trend? Like, because I know you've done some trapping in the past and like some other stuff. Is that like a trend with all types of furs or just like coyotes? Like that, just prices are down.
Prices fluctuate big time.
Okay.
Have you noticed like just the community of coyote hunters? Is that kind of
It's growing.
it grows even though the price is nowhere? It's just
Yeah.
people truly doing it because they want to and predator control.
Well, we're in northern Wisconsin,
Yeah.
and
Right.
every corner you go around, there's some predator there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on it's a coyote, a wolf, bobcat, fox.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can help eliminate the coyote problem, then we're saving more deer and other animals, you know, for the rest of hunting seasons out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try it out because I don't know if I could truly dive into it the way some people do.
I feel like I could. I feel like it'd be one of those things. Once I go and I shoot one, I'll be like, all right, gonna write a $5,000 check to some place to build me a sweet
I'm
rifle.
gonna build a sweet rifle for it. No, I mean just even seeing like your setup is it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, I guess.
Yeah.
And that takes videos too, right?
Yeah, videos and pictures.
That's cool.
Yeah, we'll have to get some of his videos and do a little
Yeah.
montage or something if you're cool with that. and
Yeah.
put that together. It'd be fun. That anything you see on thermal just looks sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Like so.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
What's the typical yardage you're shooting them at? Like, have you typically got them within 50 yards? Have you had any long pokes at them? Or
I've had them walk 10 yards away from us,
yeah,
and you shoot them at 15 yards
yeah,
out to 200-300 yards.
okay,
You're not scared to take the long
Depends
shot.
on where I'm hunting. If I'm hunting up here in South Range or around this area,
Yeah.
I like fields.
Mhm.
Shoot a little ways. But if I'm down, southern Douglas County and Pine Country, then 50, 60 yards.
Whatever you can do.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like wintertime, I like hunting ponds and lakes and rivers.
So I was just about to ask you, is like hunting over like a swamp area, can that be good?
They can be really good, yeah.
Okay.
Especially in the wintertime. We can got ice. You can travel all over.
Yeah.
Summertime, it's a little tougher.
Mm-hmm. What man, I'm losing my train of thought. What do you do when it comes to other people? Like, do you see, because it's starting to become more popular, do you see other people out at night, like in these desolated areas you're in, or is it you're kind of free game on when you're hunting public land, you're
It's pretty much free game.
pretty much free game?
Yeah.
So there's not too much pressure.
No.
You've never set up and heard somebody else calling and be like, "Fuck,
No.
that's my spot." Do you
No.
have a honey hole, like your go-to spot? You'll go to almost every time you go. Just try that one first.
If I'm next out, no, not really.
I need him just to have a honey hole right where my
Yeah.
deer stand locations are.
You probably don't want that to be his honey hole. Though. That's not a good sign.
I've seen too many of them. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They're so prevalent around here now. I just
I have shot a lot next to his deer stand, so
So you're welcome.
yeah. Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen so many sitting in the bow stand. I'm like, what are you doing here? Like,
Have you ever took a poke at one?
I'll tell you what, from like my experience with coyotes, like I'm in a tree, like they know I'm there, and then they'll go 70 yards away and they'll sit there and they'll like mimic me and make fun of me. And then the second I do like say grab my bow and like act like I'm gonna do something, they're out of there so fast. Like they know where I'm at and they're like, I'm gonna screw with this guy for a little bit. Like this has happened a couple times. I have some videos of like coyotes sitting up on like a tree that fell over, sitting there staring at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stand up and you're 70 yards away and I might sling an arrow. I don't know. And the second I get ready, they're gone.
I don't know if I've ever told you this story even, but I had a really
Oh,
odd
boy.
encounter with a coyote when I hunted public land up here in Douglas County. I was just about to get down from my stand and hunting over a corn pile. And all of a sudden I see this thing haul ass into my corn pile, kind of sniffs around, and it's a coyote, and I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, do I shoot this thing? And at the time, like, I never even like thought about coyote hunting really.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I shoot this thing? So I'm like Googling on my phone, like, can you shoot coyote? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Find out you can, and it starts eating the corn. I don't know if like you've ever heard. Is that like something they'll do?
They
Typically?
do come in. My grandpa has pictures and videos of coyotes coming in, grabbing
Yeah.
apples and eating corn during deer season.
I was like dumbfounded. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to shoot this thing. I draw back, and I think I was just all fucking, I don't know, all fucked up. And I'm like, I don't know where it's like facing away from me. Like, okay, I'm going to try to shoot it in like the neck, back of the head type thing. It's at like 18 yards, you know? Let it release, and it just goes like right over its head. I must have like scun hair off its head or something. And it just like ran off, and I'm like, after the fact, I'm like, what the hell? Like, I've never would have thought a coyote would have came in and just started munching down on corn. Like,
That coyote was on a veggie diet.
yeah, I mean, it was kind of cool, but at the same time, it's just like, fuck, you know, there's way too many of them when you're just sitting in your stand. They don't even know you're there, don't even, or they won't even give a fuck. They just come in and start chowing down.
Yeah.
And definitely don't like that as a deer hunter, because you're like, well, yeah, that was right when I was about to get down, but you know there's not going to be any bucks coming in when that thing's running around.
Yeah, those deer are smart. Thing.
Well, Brett and I hunt next to pretty close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
He'll hear me shooting. He's like, "You get one?" Yeah,
Oh,
coyote.
Yeah. My deer hunt turned into a coyote hunt.
Every time.
So all you need for, because the season's open year round for Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I don't know what other states are like, but all you need is a small game license.
Small game license.
So it doesn't take much for somebody to get out there and go hunt some coyotes if they want
No.
to.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you talked, like you don't need that fancy thermal to go do it. And
No.
And if you're a property owner in Wisconsin, you don't even need a license,
No.
I think, right?
No.
Yeah.
okay, I didn't know that. That's
If you're
pretty
on your property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
cool. Okay. You have any like dreams and desires to go like chase coyotes in other states and
I'd
do
love
some
to.
traveling? And
Yeah. I'd love to go try other states. And
have you looked into like their regulations? Are they the same as Wisconsin? Are they different?
every state's different.
Every state's
Yeah.
different.
Have you ever, like, when you're out coyote hunting or even just hunting in general, saw a coyote hunting a deer or chasing something down? Have you ever seen that in person, or?
Not really. I seen them. I had deer hanging around, by my stand. Coyotes come in, chase it away. They're not really. They're just moving through usually.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, kind of how that works. If they, a pack hunter, is it obviously they just, I guess I don't know their technique for taking down a deer, but I was wondering that because I had on trail camera this year, I had a picture of a deer and then I had a picture of a coyote like a minute later. So I requested the videos and I just saw this deer come trotting by. She wasn't in a hurry. And then the next video was like a minute and a half later. It had 3 coyotes kind of stumble right in front of my camera, and then one split off the way she went, the other one went the other way, and then the other one kind of just stood around like waiting. I'm like, it was kind of interesting to see.
They do drive deer.
Yeah, it's what it seemed like. They were all chasing, like, okay, which way she go? The one went one way, one went the other way. I'm like, it was kind of cool to see, but also kind of like, fuck, that's my deer.
Yeah.
Stay away.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Nature's vicious,
yeah.
Everything's out there battling one another for survival. It's pretty cool. But to hear like that, the way pushing them, like, who knows how many other coyotes there were set up somewhere else. Like,
Right. Yeah.
That's
they're
crazy.
driving them.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And that deer didn't even honestly seem like she was bothered. She kind of was at a slower trot pace, like nothing like running for her life. So maybe she was 100 yards later when
They're
she
more in
realized
danger
it.
from a coyote in the deep, snow.
Yeah.
So for like the deer population, like these winters, the last couple have been pretty good then for helping out from
Yeah.
predator control and
Deer can usually get away.
yeah. Is it? You ever like see or hear about like full like mature deer being taken out by coyotes, or is it typically the fawns and?
Lots of fawns.
Okay.
There has been a lot of deer kills where people feed a bunch of deer and the deer herd up, and then you get kills. That's when the predators move in on them because
So-
they're all herded up.
Opportunist.
Yeah.
So baiting for deer
In the wintertime is not very.
is not beneficial for.
No.
Okay.
Not if you have a big winter herd.
Kind of want to roll this into more of like your outdoor experiences because you you've done it all. Using hounds, hunting bears, coons, whatever you can get into. Did a little trapping for a while, fishing, whitetail hunting. Like coyote hunting is clearly your go-to passion, but like as like the seasons change, does that kind of still get put on the back burner as like say we got turkey seasons coming up, we're gonna go into fishing opener, like will you put coyote hunting on the back burner for a little
Just
while
for a couple, like a month or two,
and then
I'll slow down on it.
slow down,
Yeah,
still
because
keep doing it?
turkey hunting's a blast too. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you get a turkey tag?
I did.
What zone did you get?
Zone 6 up here.
Nice.
Don't tell Kyler that.
Yeah, Kyler's gonna be mad. We were just talking about that I couldn't get one. He couldn't get one. He was talking about one of like the main leaders at the turkey banquet he was at didn't get one. Like these big time turkey hunters aren't getting them. Is crazy.
Especially how much the numbers in Wisconsin were up last year on
Yeah.
harvest, like 22% above the 5-year average.
When you can drive 5 miles from home and see over 100 turkeys, they're around.
They're
Yeah.
around now. They're well established.
Right.
Yeah, man. What big plans do you have for upgrading equipment or anything? Like, are you pretty set up like now, or are you
Pretty
still
set up. Just one thing I'm missing is a monocular I'd like to get.
okay?
So
Like
I'm
a
not
thermal.
thermal monocular. So I'm not spinning around my tripod
Mm.
all night long.
Yeah, that was a question I had for you. Is like when you're hitting this call, are you then now just scanning
Just scanning,
completely?
yeah.
Like you're in that scope.
Yep.
Because yours is set up with a way to see it on your phone too, correct?
Yeah, if someone wants to go out hunting with me, they can just
Mm.
sit back and relax and sit on my phone and watch me hunt.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
You have to get like a big iPad and
Yeah.
big screen.
Just set that up in the trailer you guys are gonna build. Have a big screen in there. You bring a few buddies. They sit in a nice warm trailer and just.
That's what I
watch
was
this.
thinking. Like if we even had a side by side, like if I how far can it reach from your scope to your phone?
I
'Cause
haven't tested that out.
we need to try that out. I want to sit in the warm side by side with
Where you're nice and safe.
Where I'm nice and safe.
Because you're scared of the dark.
The dark's not fun. I don't know. You should see me walking out of a deer stand in the night. You can't see. You don't get nervous walking out of a deer stand. Come on. Or walking in the morning. My head's on a swivel.
You got like
And-
your pistol pulled. You're like,
I'm
scanning it.
pistol's ready. If I'm not rifle hunting, I'm bow hunting. Yeah.
So you still bear hunt quite a bit, run hounds, or
No,
no?
dogs are getting old,
Yeah.
retired.
How many years were you heavily into that?
13.
13 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Was that was something you got into with your grandfather then, or?
Oh, Grandpa did hunt with hounds, but he
Yeah.
hunted in Florida.
Oh,
But he'd come hang out with me and drive around when I didn't have
Yeah.
my driver's license, and we'd load up the dogs and go.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Grandpa, I want to go chase some coons. You gotta drive the truck though. I don't have my license.
that's exactly what it was.
That's cool.
Did you like guide, like, or just kind of for fun with
Just
people
fun.
that had
Yeah.
tags? You just help them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm sure you made a lot of like good friendships with people from
Oh, yeah, lots of good friends.
you see them. Well, you started pretty young, so I was gonna stay at a bar, but you meet.
Well,
you
we
meet,
are in Wisconsin, so
Yeah. You meet people wherever you meet them and start talking about hunting and stuff like that. You can build a cool relationship. Go out hunting one time, you got a friend for life or
Yep.
something. You know,
Yep.
that's pretty cool.
What's the biggest bear that somebody's gotten when you've been hunting with them?
I don't know, 500 pounds.
Okay.
Wow, that's cool. I don't know much about bear hunting either. The predator game is not
Mm-hmm.
not my deal. But do like bear hunters get pretty territorial of one another, like fighting and like
Yeah, because they got their baits set up, and
depending if they're hunting baits or running dogs? Like
yeah,
okay,
Do you use those methods kind of together? Like, do you know people set up baits and then they bring their dogs and try to hunt around those baits just because they know they have the bears coming in, or do people just put miles on? Driving
'cause,
the
like as far
roads?
as I know, I think there's 2 different seasons, correct? For
Oh, is there?
there's a
for bears.
yeah.
So I think you can only
They don't run together with each other.
I think you can only you obviously know, but I think you can only
So some years bait sitters hunt first,
Oh, okay.
and then dogs will start a week later.
because you can't hunt the 2 at the same time, correct?
You can after
Okay.
after those first.
Yeah.
They just give.
They give the bait sitters a head
Okay.
start, or the dog hound hunters a
Yeah.
head start.
so that way they have some time apart where somebody's
Yeah.
not sitting at their location
And somebody
dogs are
running
running
off,
through.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. How many points do you guys know this? How many points you need to draw a bear tag up here? Is it zone D? Or what zone is that for up here? I think it is zone D for bear.
It might be. I forget.
I'm
I know that I have. I believe it's 8 points now that I have, and I haven't drawn. So I don't know how many it'll be. And
I was building up to drawing up here, and then a couple years ago when we got our first lease, well, a few years ago down south, had just a fuck ton of bear on camera, and I was like, this is gonna be an awesome spot to get one. So, and I knew down in that zone, I forget what zone it is, but it's right below this one. I know it's a little easier to draw, so I put in for it. I drew it with 6 points, burned 6 points on it. Come to find out, you only need like 2 or 3 points to burn on it, but whatever. So I drew it, and then all of a sudden I got thrown into my new job, and I was working 14-hour shifts every night during that bear season, so I burned that tag.
oh man,
Yeah, so I think I'm at like 2 points now, so maybe next year I'll try again. But
you're on the rebuild.
yeah, yeah, I was pretty bummed out though, because I'm like, I really want to get one with a bow,
Yeah,
but I don't know. I guess we could always look at doing a hunting trip somewhere for that too.
yeah, that'd be
Fun.
cool.
A spring bear hunt.
Well, down by
somewhere.
where you live, it's easier to get a bear tag.
Yeah, yeah,
Up here, it takes 10 years.
yeah,
So I'm getting close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about bear hunting in a different state, like out west, where it is like the spring bear hunts?
Minnesota, I've thought about.
Okay.
Nowhere really else.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about it too much till I started hearing it on elk hunting podcasts and stuff, where the big spring bear hunts in like Montana, Idaho, out there. I'm like, man, that sounds like a blast. And it's almost resonates with the turkey season. Like you're coming off winter, and then you're just stoked for the next hunting season.
Yeah,
and you're
whatever
just
you get
getting
after
out in the
next.
mountains, chasing them.
That's what I love about coyote hunting.
Yeah,
365 days a year. I
Mhm.
can just hunt all year long.
yeah. Is that bobcats then, or what?
Coyotes.
Oh, I thought you said cat hunting.
What? How many points is it for a cat? Do you know?
Depends on first season or second season.
Okay.
First season usually get a tag fairly easy.
Mhm.
3-4 years. Second season could be longer.
And that's just one.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking about the out west bear hunting stuff, and I never thought about it until like this year because my buddy Isaac called me one day. He goes, "I think I can get the time off work. I'm sure you can." He's giving me a hard time, and he goes, "We need to go out to Utah. Their spring bear hunt tags are like it's like $450 or something for a non-resident, like
Mhm.
relatively cheap for a Western game tag." And
Yeah.
I'm like, I never even thought about
Mhm.
wanting to do that. And then I started looking into it. I'm like, that would probably be really, really fun.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, it
another
would be.
reason to get out west. And then I'm like, kind of say I'm like scouting for elk or something, like
Mhm.
kind of make it a do all trip.
The cool thing that I've heard and seen on some videos and stuff, how they do it in the mountains is a technique. They set up a bait pile, but then they're glassing. They have a spot they set up. They know they're like 200 yards away, and they just glass the spot, and they can see when a bear's coming in. And they have a dedicated path with the wind where they could just essentially sneak in. So it's a combination of like spot in stock and baiting, just to be able to sneak right in on them once you see them and
That's
get
very
it done
cool.
that way. But then again, that's the legwork, getting your bait into wherever they're hunting back in the mountains, But definitely a cool way to go about it, different than you'd ever do around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, have you ever thought about going west to chase like mountain lions or anything like that? Like predator controls your thing. Like, have you ever thought about getting a tag to do that? Like that to me, I think that'd be the scariest.
Down the road, yeah.
It'd be an adrenaline rush
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, down the road,
Something you want to look
something
into.
to look into.
Yeah. You just like staying close to home and protecting your deer herd.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, that's good.
Another cool one for bear would be Alaska, even for black bear. I don't know if you've ever seen the videos on those, but
Yeah.
floating in a boat on the guide service, and they just glass the shores for black bears, and they hop in their little dinghy and fucking get to shore, and then they stock them and get it done.
That's cool.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos like that. I'm like, man, that'd be a blast. Because then you're out on the boat. That's where you're living off of. You're just going to shore to bear hunt, and then you're fishing, Just talk about like an awesome
That'd be a
way to live
sweet
for a
trip,
week, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be so
That'd be
cool.
sweet.
If I can involve fishing into like anything I'm doing, like take the break from the woods, I'm in for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I guess I never would have thought, like, when you think about Alaska, I wouldn't have thought going there for black bear hunting or on a black bear trip until you see those videos and you're like, you know what, that'd be fucking sweet.
Yeah.
I gotta do that sometime.
Is there a quota for coyotes for the state, or is it you can shoot as many as you want?
Shoot as many as you want.
Shoot as many as you want.
Yeah.
How many do you think? Let's say like this last fall until now. Do you think that you've seen or taken out, or people that you've hunted with as a total? Because you had probably like what 5-6 guys now that
Yeah.
you'll kind of go out with or
Yeah.
talk to anyway.
Yep. I start at January 1st of every year, and I count till the end of the year.
Okay.
So from January 1st this year, I got shot 11 so far.
11.
Yep.
That seems pretty good to me. I don't know, but
How many nights of hunting has that been?
That's only night or two, maybe a week.
Okay.
so you're still putting some time in.
Yeah.
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 Is that pretty much been averaging at least one a night?
One a night.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty good success.
Yeah.
There's so many of them around here. I mean, just
You ever run in multiple people with multiple guns, or is it typically you and a buddy watching or hanging out?
It's usually 2 or 3 of us that
Oh,
jump in
okay.
the truck and head out, and
Yeah.
there's more people in the area getting into it,
Mm-hmm.
that's cool.
which is cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are they typically like deer hunters that get into it just because they wanna?
just big hunters
Yeah.
like us that
Right.
just want to hunt all year round.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
It
whatever
sucks waiting for deer season. Oh,
Yeah.
I got all summer to wait.
Yeah.
Right.
That's waiting on deer season. That's like, I think why we spend so much time now with even just messing around with our bows. Like we're just
Mhm.
itching to get
Nothing
back.
better
yeah.
than jump into a boat though and go catch a bunch of walleyes on
Yeah,
big
that's-
crappies, but
I'm really looking forward to a fishing opener this year and getting out. I think it's been like the last 4 years I've had to work that I've missed Wisconsin fishing opener, and this year I don't have to work on opener. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So get out and catch some walleyes and have a little fish fry and shoot the bows while we're frying some fish. I don't know. See what the summer brings. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
it's a family tradition.
Yeah.
Fishing opener, jump in our boats and head up river.
Yeah. And then got plans for heading up north to go chase walleyes up there.
Oh, yeah.
Up in Ontario.
Yeah. Hopefully next couple weeks we get up there and get up there this winter, and hopefully the snow conditions last, and
Yeah, hopefully I want the snow to be gone, but I also want to make a trip up and get a little bit of fishing in this year. This year I really slacked on the fishing with just being too busy or just not managing my time well enough to make time to get out.
Have any of you guys been up to your Canada place this winter at all?
No.
No. Has your grandpa been up there?
No.
Is that typically you do like one trip a winter, or just kind of as much as you can get up
it
there?
depends on the
Yeah.
year. And
Yeah, what the conditions are like. I mean,
Mhm.
ideally we'd like to go up, once a month at a minimum of during
Yeah.
the winter months, but just tough to do.
Right.
Yeah, it's a long drive and
Mm-hmm.
schedules work and trying to get everyone's schedule to align more or less has been the
yeah,
that's
that's
the hard part.
Yeah.
Because you're going up into the bush, you don't want to just go up by yourself. Like
Right.
one thing goes wrong with a snowmobile, you're really stuck.
Mhm.
So you want to at least have one guy with you. So
Just bring your inReach.
yeah,
I'm the guy that would just go up there by myself.
You're
Something
like,
happened.
if I end up stranded, then that's the best case that could possibly happen. I don't have to see anybody for a while.
It's like, I don't have to go to work.
It is cool with the Garmin inReaches though.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can just keep it on you.
Yeah.
Anything ever happens, you
It's a
you
good
know you
peace of
have it.
mind.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great investment for anyone that
Mhm.
goes outdoors and spends a lot of time. Like you got to have it, especially heading west to go
Yep.
hunt anything out there, or if you're flying up north or you're out riding snowmobiles in the middle, 30 miles into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like anything go wrong at any minute.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody could get cut themselves stupid or something if you're cutting a tree. Like
Tip over their snowmobile.
tip over their snowmobile and
Yeah.
can't get it off them. And
Yeah.
no, it's a good piece of equipment to have. Definitely worth investing into. If
Mm-hmm.
like our listeners haven't done that already, I definitely.
Yeah.
And there's some other ones out there that aren't the Garmin one, but definitely worth getting something to peace of mind anyway.
Yeah, and just being able to still keep in touch with back home when you're
Yeah.
out there.
And they have
actually.
GPS on them if you
Yep.
want. And
Yeah.
Is that now that we're talking the kind of the GPSs, when you were running dogs like with their collars and stuff, were like did you have GPS on those, or is it like just kind of like a buzzer, like I need my dogs back?
now GPS, you can track them.
You could track them.
Yeah, every move they make. If they're sitting, running,
Mm.
barking, tells you everything.
You can see it all on
Yeah,
your little
their
screen.
speed.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Do they also have like an, I guess like an SOS button on those?
Yes, they do.
So that
Yep.
just another thing. If you're kind of a do all, if you're running dogs doing it all, you just need the one unit rather than buying.
Yep.
That's
Hmm.
that's nice that they set it
Yeah.
up like that.
You ever had any encounters with wolves when you're running dogs?
We have had some encounters where you're running a bear and the wolves come in, the dogs split.
Did they ever get a hold of any of your dogs?
Not our dogs, but many people in the
Yeah,
area's
as I
dogs.
say, I've heard the stories.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely not a fun thing.
No, that's terrible. You spend all that time and energy working with that dog, training it, and
Tons of training,
yeah, and then
tons of time.
one wolf comes and
Have you ever
wipes
looked
it out.
on that Wisconsin DNR wolf depredation
Map.
map?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like the first time I saw that a few years ago, I went on there. I'm like, holy shit! I did no idea this many dogs, whether it's domestic or hunting dogs,
Yeah.
are taken every year. And I mean, they keep it updated, and it's crazy. I'm like, if this is public knowledge, if people saw this, if they kept this on the news, people would be like, we have a wolf problem. But
Yeah.
it's not out there like that. Like you have to go look to find.
Imagine
something
every
like that.
farmer,
Yeah.
every kill they have.
Yeah.
If that was marked on a map.
Yeah, but that's the hidden information.
Well, I mean, for us specifically, we're so far up north in Wisconsin. Like the people that are writing these laws, and
Mhm.
they're down Madison. They don't know what's going on up here. They have their people telling them, stuffs like this. But I really don't think like people are seeing it for what it is. You need to spend time in the woods, and it'll be obvious that there's a predator issue.
Yeah, when they opened up that wolf season and it tagged out in like half a day or something like
Yeah.
that,
It
wasn't
was
it?
like less than 24 hours
Yeah,
they hit their
they went
quota.
over the quota just because
Yeah.
of how fat. Like people aren't going to know that the quota is when they're. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like that's crazy. That's just a sign right there.
Mhm.
You know.
That,
I'd love to take those people out of the concrete jungle and bring them up here in the North Woods and
Yeah.
take them out hunting for a night and see how many predators we
Yep.
see.
yeah, that'll open their eyes a little bit.
Driving down a Douglas County sand road and there's nothing but wolf tracks all the way down it.
Mhm.
Solid.
Yeah, I mean, just out behind the house here,
Mm-hmm.
I took the dogs for a walk on my trails and went back to see what the food plot was looking like, the whole area, if I had any down trees or whatever. And next day I came back and walked. Wolf tracks all over the place, just right here. And I'm
Mhm.
like, oh no, like I got a problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Just the amount of buddies we have too that have seen them from the deer stand, or when you're deer hunting. I mean, mine and Sam's encounter we had, which we
Yeah.
don't have to go into. That's kind of a long story. But yeah, talking about losing a deer to a pack of wolves and kind of being surrounded by them, it's definitely an eerie feeling.
Yeah, we'll need to get Sam
Yeah,
back
we'll have
on
to
and
tell that one later.
tell that one later because that's a good
That
good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this one's been a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Learned there's so much about coyote hunting that
Yeah.
you got to dive deeper into. It's not just as easy as
No, it
Setting
takes
the call.
tons of time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Every time I go out, you learn something different, something new.
Yeah. We're gonna have to go out with you one of these nights and get some lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kind of open for people that want to learn to like reach out to you and ask you questions? And
Oh yeah,
perfect.
love to get people out there and
Yeah.
get them into it.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, what do you
Yeah.
think?
It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for coming on and giving us a little lesson on predator hunting.
Yeah. This was an eye opener to just how much it can involve because me
Right.
seeing them, I'm like, I was just gonna shoot the coyote. I don't know what the problem is, but there's a lot more that
Right.
goes into it. for
I'm
sure.
so much into it now. I'm in a deer stand hunting deer. I get bored.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, no, there's no deer here. So I got my mouth. I got my mouth calls with me. I'm trying to call in coyotes and deer hunting.
So that's why you dropped your bow from your stand. So,
Is that way? Yeah.
all right, I could tell Brett my bow's broke, and then I could go actually do something that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. He goes, I'm not waiting for these whitetails anymore.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh man, awesome. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate you spending this time this morning with us. So
Yeah.
awesome.
And just getting out there and taking care of something that a lot of people don't even think about. Like, you're helping a lot of hunters out by just reducing the
Definitely,
coyote
you're definitely
population.
doing your part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I might have to up my game up and not
Yeah.
be so scared of the dark.
Yeah. Come on.
Like a daytime hunt too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. We'll catch you next time.